And your punishment will follow.
Fucker. Trick 2G. I like Bikeman and Cat. I don't think I've ever watched anybody stream League of Legends. My last cigarette. Probably. The hell are those? I've enjoyed playing Shovel Knight recently. You need to have like 10,000 followers. Well, here we are again. I don't really care if I get a subscriber thing or not. I'm only playing this just because I like, or I'm only streaming because I like doing it.
I know. But
Yeah.
we have to do something. Are you fucking kidding me?
When is this thing happening?
Are we sure he's coming?
Yes, you'll have an opportunity to... He's back.
The Crooked Man.
Thank God.
Motherfucker.
Are you okay? It's been hours. We were worried you'd run into some trouble. At the Crooked Man's place. And after what happened with Mary...
Well, he didn't make it easy.
What happened?
It doesn't matter. He's here. We got him.
We can talk about it later. You did well, Sheriff. I'm surprised. Not that you did well, but that, you know... I'm just glad you made it back in one piece.
It's about time you showed up.
Yeah,
Throw
got
this
that.
asshole down the fucking well.
Yes, what are you waiting for?
You killed Lily!
She was my sister.
How could
What do
you?
you have to say for
Where the
yourself?
fuck do you get off?
Poor
You think
girls.
you have the right to
And
just
what about
Fuck
do
up,
this to
everybody.
people?
They have
You're a
done to
fucking
deserve
crook!
This. You should be ashamed.
Shithole.
Everyone, can I have your attention? Thank you all for coming here on such short notice. I know normally we'd schedule a formal hearing, but considering the circumstances, I thought it best if we do this as soon as possible. The Crooked Man is charged with the murder
As
of
I
Faith
already
and...
informed your sheriff, it was Mr. Georgie Porgy who killed those women, not me.
What? It was Georgie?
Georgie.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Miss White, but I thought it would be unwise to proceed with such faulty information.
Georgie may have killed them, but you made the call.
Do I have to explain the situation to you again?
Wait a minute. So you're saying Georgie's the motherfucker who killed my sister? Well, where is
Motherfucker.
he?
Yeah, you're gonna bring that shithead in too, aren't you?
Yeah, Georgie Porgy.
Yes, Sheriff. Where is that rotten scoundrel now?
Is he
Of course
still
it's made
out
up.
there?
Fucking feel.
Sincerely hope not.
Well, where is he?
Sheriff?
I killed him. He's dead.
He's... what?
Dead. So you see, the culprit has been punished. There's no
That
need
doesn't
for
change
this.
Language.
We'll deal with it later, but right now, you're the one I'm concerned with.
You called the shots. Georgie made that perfectly clear.
In which case, you still have a lot to answer for.
I
And
was
I
told
don't...
I would be allowed to speak.
We have to read the rest of the
What
charges.
other charges?
Let her finish. Then you can have your say.
Got it?
If you insist.
You are charged with the murder of Faith and Lily, which Georgie carried out on your order, inciting violence against various members of the Fabletown community, including the attempted murder of Sheriff Bigby Wolf.
Twice.
A misunderstanding.
Aiding and providing monetary support for the forced prostitution at the Pudding and Pie. Additionally, you are charged with multiple counts of fraud, extortion, racketeering, and the illegal possession and sale of magical artifacts.
And for being a condescending prick.
Now, is there anything you would like to say?
First of all, I had nothing to do with Faith and Lily, so you can strike that one from your little record book.
Bullshit!
Like hell you didn't.
Stop the charade. We know you're involved.
Come on, it's obvious.
And there's all the other crap he's done.
Everyone just shut up for a minute. You wanted a chance to talk? Well, go ahead.
What?
We all know he's guilty.
Prick.
What the fuck does he need to speak for?
The Crooked Man has committed crimes against this government and, most importantly, its citizens. These charges, if proven, are enough to justify death, upon which your body will be committed to the witching
Where it
well.
fucking belongs.
That's
So
right.
let's get
But
on
we
with it
promised
then.
you a chance to defend yourself, and I won't rob you of that right.
What the
You're
fuck?
really going
This
to
is
let him
about
talk?
justice. If we're
What the
ever going
fuck?
to pull ourselves together and make something of this town, we have to start doing things correctly. No more snap judgments, no more secrets. We are going to treat everyone fairly, even when they don't deserve it.
This is ridiculous.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Miss White. You've all met Georgie. I don't have to tell you what kind of person he was. He was
Kill
a
'em all.
total scoundrel, lacking in any sort of moral fiber. I hired him as a favor to his family, you see. A promise kept to a dying mother.
Oh,
Are you
jeez.
gonna get to your point or what?
Georgie was working for me, yes. But he was not acting on my behalf when he killed those women. It was his business. And for whatever reason, I'm sure only he could understand, he murdered 2 of his most faithful employees. I had nothing to do with it.
Tell
This
the
is such
fucking
bullshit.
truth for
He's
once.
always been a bit of a powder keg. It was only a matter of time before something like this happened.
If you were so offended by it, why'd you cover it up then? If it had nothing to do with you and your shit, then why'd you try to protect him for so
What
long?
cover up? I never made any attempt to hide Georgie's criminal activity from you. I learned of it myself
For
only
fuck's
recently.
sake. Any of you actually believe this bullshit?
Holly, please.
Tell them, Bigby. When you finally showed up at my door last
Powder
night,
keg?
wasn't I more than helpful? I answered your questions. I was willing to cooperate.
What's he talking about?
You weren't being helpful, you were trying to set me up. Your people tried to kill me.
They get a bit carried away sometimes, it's true. Loyal to the end. They do it because they want to protect me, as I've protected them. You understand wanting to protect what you care about, don't you? You'd do anything. You might even give up an innocent man, just to save someone.
What's he talking about?
I really hope you're going somewhere with this.
I see, you want to cut right to the point. I can appreciate that. Let me explain this to you. My employees are just that, hired help. I see some of them are here among you. They are not my slaves. They are all free to
I
make
wish I
their own
could kill 'em,
decisions, as
but-
Georgie was.
What about Lily?
Doesn't fit
She
with the rest
wasn't
of my
free. She
playthrough.
wasn't given a choice. Do you really think she wanted that any of those girls wanted their lives like that?
I'm sorry, Holly. I'm sorry that your sister asked me for help, and I'm sorry that I decided against my better judgment to give her a distasteful job.
Right, and you kept them in debt so they couldn't leave.
Yeah. That's what you did to us. How you kept us all
You
in
forget
line.
it was not me who put you in that position. You all act like I'm some kind of tyrant. When your government abandoned you, left you poor and helpless, sniveling on street corners, I was there to look out for you.
Yes, but
Wasn't I?
We didn't abandon anyone. We've been trying to help them.
Really? What about Auntie Greenleaf?
Oh,
Her story
fuck
is
you,
not
Derp.
uncommon. She left everything
Quit
she
trying to
had
bite
back
me,
in
you
the
whore.
homelands. Everything that matters, anyway. With nowhere else to turn, she came to me for help. And what did I do for you?
You got my tree back.
I got her tree back, and in turn we used her magic to help poor Fables get glamours. Because I helped her, she was able to make a living, provide for herself. And what did they do?
She wanted my tree destroyed, but Bigby refused.
What?
You were gonna burn her tree? Snow, why would you want that?
Is that true?
Snow?
Don't blame Snow, she had her reasons. Greenleaf was using her magic to help Crane and the Crooked Man. That's why Snow wanted your tree burned.
That's not why.
It wasn't her fault.
You can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me. You hated Crane, and you hated him for wanting to fuck you, and you being too soft to notice what he'd do to get it. It had nothing to do with a Crooked Man.
We've made some mistakes. I've made some mistakes. But believe me, I truly want
This fucker
what's
better
best
not
for this
get away.
town. And that may not always be clear right away. But I want you all to know that I care deeply about all of you. And so does the sheriff.
Yeah, right.
I can't promise you perfection. No one can. But I can promise to always have your best interests at heart.
Like you did with her?
Maybe you haven't noticed, but we've been doing all this to protect you. We're trying to stop people like him.
The Crooked Man's been exploiting you. Exploiting your hope for a better life. You would go to him for help, and he would take that weakness and add it to his strength. And if things didn't fall exactly his way, someone would die.
Do you really think the Crooked Man cared about you? He just cared about your money. He cares about your obedience.
They're right.
You're all still afraid of him, even now. But you needn't be. His contamination of this town
course it's still
is
happening.
over. And those girls will have their justice.
If it's anything like their other episodes, there's still like an hour left.
Very good, very good. The sentiment is surely appreciated, Miss White. But it doesn't disguise the fact that these accusations are completely unfounded.
Really?
The sheriff simply doesn't have a particle of evidence linking me to the murder.
Georgie was working for you. Bigby got a
A
confession.
confession that nobody heard. Now, I'm no barrister, but I think such a statement would carry more weight.
You're
if
a
Bigby
bastard,
weren't the
alright.
only one to whom Georgie spoke, especially given Bigby's history.
Really?
What are you talking about?
Snow?
So, are we done?
You won't be able to talk your way out of this, Crooked Man.
What do you mean there's no evidence?
Maybe he's... I mean, this doesn't feel right, how we're doing this. I just
Of
need...
course it's right. This man tormented all of you for profit. Georgie
Let me
killed
just
them.
make sure I understand you. You're trying to say that I'm responsible for what Georgie did because he was working for me at the time, yes?
Yes.
Of course. Yes, you're responsible.
If I'm to blame for Georgie's mistakes,
But I
shouldn't Miss
digress.
White be held accountable for Bigby's actions as well.
Like what?
How about the way he treated poor Tweedledee when he was in your custody? He was beaten to mashed apples while under your watch.
Under my watch.
Maybe he's right.
Did you think we'd all just let that go?
You can't be serious.
That was different.
What? You think you shouldn't be held accountable?
You're the one on trial here. Don't try to turn this around on us.
Besides, Crane was still deputy mayor when that happened. Right before you decided to kidnap him.
It was for his own protection.
I kidnapped him
my
for his
dear,
protection.
Crane was in charge. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference.
That's enough.
So, you won't answer for your employees' behavior, but I must perish for
This
mine.
is completely different.
I
We all...
did not order those two girls dead. It simply never happened. Georgie killed Faith and Lily. End of story. They want to scapegoat me for their own tangled ends, but they refuse to answer for their own
This
crimes.
isn't right.
Oh, please.
This isn't the point.
We'll deal with them after we deal with you.
Listen, I
The
know...
laws apply when we need them to.
Bluebeard,